Greetings. Welcome back again. Surfaces, or material zones on meshes, by applying a different shader to them, can be used to give the mesh a unique appearance. In this video, we will look at how to add and assign surfaces, or material zones, to the clothing base we created for Daz 3D Genesis 8 Mail in our previous video. Let's get started. We'll begin with a Genesis 8 Mail development version loaded with the clothing top that we created in our previous video. Now let's zoom in on the clothing top. Select the Surface tab to bring up the Surface panel. The clothing top we created in ZBrush only has one surface named Default. In other words, the entire clothing has only one material surface. If we apply any color or material to it, it will affect the entire clothing. It is not possible to apply different textures to the sleeves, the body of the shirt, and the collar, unless there are multiple surfaces on the shirt. We will get started on that right away. To begin, activate the Geometry Editor tool and open the Tool Settings panel. If you expand the Surfaces list, the only field is the surface named Default, just like what we see in the Surface panel. Now let us zoom into the cuff area of the sleeve where we will make a polygon selection. Check the box for Use Symmetry so we can make both the left and right sleeve selections at the same time. Using the Polygon Selection tool, pick the two polygons along the sleeve's edge. Right-click and activate Select Loop under Geometry Selection. This will select all the polygons in the roll that we selected. Select the Grow selection under the Geometry Selection option by right-clicking again. This will expand our polygon selection by one roll based on the polygons we selected. Both the left and right sleeves had the same selection of polygons in their sleeves. Using shortcut keys, Ctrl and plus keys, you can continue to select until the entire sleeves area is selected. We will now assign a surface to this selection. Right-click the surface group and select Create Surface from Selected. Let's call this Sleeves, then click Accept. Click on the minus sign to deselect the selection. We'll now assign the surface of the collar. Select two polygons along the edge. Then right-click and activate Select Loop. Use the Ctrl and plus keys to expand the selection. I have selected an unwanted roll here. We can use the Shrink Selection command to fix this. Okay, this seems fine. We will now assign the selection to a surface group. Once again, right-click on the surface group and choose Create Surface from Selected. Name this surface Collar and click Accept. In the Surface panel, we will now find the two new surface groups we created just now. Remember to deactivate the selection by clicking the minus sign. We will now work on the front and back surfaces. It will be easier if the sleeves and collar are hidden. We can do that by clicking on the eye icon. I think this would make a great sleeveless t-shirt base. Let's mark out the back surface polygon. The size of the brush can be changed by adjusting the selection radius. Also, we'll hide Genesis 8 Mail. It's much easier this way. Make sure all the back polygons are selected. Let's name the surface we've selected back. We'll also hide this too. Before you go ahead and just rename the default surface, let me show you something. Do you see any differences between the two lists of properties? Underneath the default surface are the properties of 3D Light. However, the properties on our newly created surface are array properties. As I would like this surface group to have array properties, I will create a new surface from the default surface. Select the remaining polygons by clicking on the plus icon. Then assign them to a new surface named Front. This front surface we just created will has the same material properties as all other surfaces. On the surface panel, you'll still see the default properties, even though the default surface has no polygons. We'll just right-click and remove the group. The item does not appear in the panel under the surface anymore. Using the eye icon, let's make all the polygons visible. Now let's apply colors to the surfaces we just created. We can hold down the Control key to select more than one surface. We'll give the front and back different colors. Let's add a few more surface zones to the clothing top to make it more interesting. Bring the brush size back to 5. Select 2 polygons along the sleeves border. Then use the shortcut Control while holding down the equal key to loop the selection. Expand the selection by using the Control and plus key. I think we can stop around here. Give this surface the name Sleeves 1. Let's expand our selection. This looks fine. Click the minus sign to remove the Sleeves 1 selection. Assign this new selection to surface Sleeves 2. Now we will clear the selection. Double-click on Sleeves and rename it to Sleeves 3. Let's have some fun now. By hiding the Sleeves 1 surface, we get a quarter-length sleeve top. The top becomes a short sleeve top when Sleeves 2 are also hidden. Hidden Sleeves 3 make the top sleeveless. By turning back on Sleeves 3 and hiding the collar, it became a crew neck t-shirt. By mixing the surface zones, you can create a variety of tops. However, users will actually control surface transparency by tweaking the cutout opacity setting slider in the surface panel. In the filter window, type cutout. The cutout opacity setting control will appear. Set the cutout opacity setting slider to 0 for Sleeves 1 in the list. This will hide the Sleeves 1 surface. Similarly, all the other surfaces can be controlled the same way. With all the assigned surfaces, it won't just be a long sleeve top anymore, but a more versatile item. There is another method of selecting the surface than clicking on the list. We can also do that using the Surface Selection tool. By clicking the surface on the clothing itself, the surface can be selected. We will use this tool to give each of our created surfaces its very own color. Once again, we have reached the end of this video. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. In our next video, we'll see how we can add seam detail to the clothing base. Please give me your support by clicking on the like button below. I look forward to seeing you in my next video.